Hi, my name is Sadat. I work with a creative agency as a content manager, and I've been fishing for about 31 years, since I was 4. The person who introduced me to fishing was my dad. My first fishing experience was at the Bedok jetty, and the moment a fish took the bait, it was that part that got me really hooked onto fishing, and the joy of, the fight, as they call it. I think the main joy of fishing comes from the fact that I can get away from all the busy hustle and bustle of work. There are so many types of fishing out there, and if I were to pick my favorite, I would say freshwater. Alright, so I'm going to be getting ready for my fishing trip, and a very big thank you to Shimano for sponsoring all these cool lures for me, cool gear all round. But let me just go through the bits and pieces that I'll be choosing for this trip. Today, I'll be preparing for some freshwater fishing, and I'll be looking at some of the lures that I'm going to use. So I have an Shimano 70S. So this lure actually sinks as you retrieve it. Lure number 1 is in. Next, I would want to use this thing called a silent assassin. It has flashy little flaps in there that will attract fish that are not very aggressive. So I'm going to put this in the box. Next, I will be going with a BT bait 99. So this one has a little wavy little movement here. And what it does is as you retrieve it, it will look like a worm or a squirming fish on the surface. Let me just bring out the rubber piece. It basically looks like a little worm like that. It's supposed to look like a tail of a fish. So when this is inside the water, it looks very delicious for fish that are hungry. So there's a little hole and you put it inside. You might not want to pull it too hard because if you do, you might snap it in half. So there you go. See the little twill? Next up, I will have a popper. It's called the X Popper 65F. So this is called a panza popper. It sits on the surface of the water and there are holes at the top. So what happens is when you drag it on the surface, it will splash water through these holes. Okay, this is a bit of a dare or daring kind of choice. It's called the World Rush. It's actually a crankbait. It will sit on the surface of the water, and as you retrieve your line, it goes down into the surface and then it comes back up again when you stop retrieving. Now that I have all my lures that I want, I'm going to tell you about the reels I'm going to use. So this is called the Neck Save. This is the 1000 for those going for light game. This is the Neck Save 2500 for someone who wants somewhere in between, like medium and light game. And for those going for slightly bigger game, you go for the 3000. This one holds a lot of line and will be good for fighting fish that can fight for a long time. I'll be going with the 2500 and I'm going to pair it with the Shimano Cruiser XT. Okay, so this is a medium to heavy rod. When you have a medium to heavy rod, you will feel like it's really stiff and it will require more energy to bend your rod. So this means that it can withstand a big fish when it's pulling, whenever you're fighting it. And it also means that, it would not be able to cast really small lures. So you have to look at the weightage. It's usually written on the rod. Over here it says line weight is 6 to 12 pounds. So make sure when you choose your line weight, you match the rod. And the lure weight is about 8 to 16 grams. So make sure the rod will tell you what you need to pack whenever you go fishing. So why do we tie a leader line? So a couple of reasons. One reason is it helps to absorb the pressure from the fish because of the way it's a little bit flexible. If you pull it, you can feel it. And the other thing is, because of its material, it's able to withstand abrasion and not break under pressure. So I always pack spare leader, so I bring extra just in case. Together with my swivels, my scissors and cutter go together, and I have pliers as well. So now that my bag is packed, remember to get enough sleep, we're ready to go. Sleep is very important to me, but whenever it comes to fishing, I will forego sleeping any day of the week. To me, fishing during first light has more returns. I feel that fish tend to be more active during this time and they're more aggressive when it comes to attacking lures. I would definitely wake up early every day if I could do that just to go fishing. But there's this excitement that anglers usually feel when they are going to go fishing, and that could extend to like the night before when they just can't sleep. This kind of excitement, it cannot be really explained, but a true angler will know what it means. I don't think it's difficult to catch a fish in Singapore's legal grounds because the fish are actually there. I believe that if you are using the right gear, you go to the waters at the right time, you can catch the fish that you want. You just have to be patient. Alright, so now I'm at Marina Reservoir, and this is one of 3 legal spots available to fish. So I'm at spot 1. And over here I'm going to set up my setup first. So I'm going to put my rod together, put the line through. So now that my line's through, I'm going to get my swivel out and tie it to the leader. Because I'm using a lighter line, I'm going to use a really small swivel that looks like this. It's really small, but it's very strong. So I'm just going to tie this to the leader. Don't be afraid to use your teeth if you need to get your line tied together, but you don't want to bite it wrongly and fray your lines. So when you have excess line, remember, do not litter. So based on the water condition right now, it's about 7 in the morning. It's a bit bright. So what I want to do is, I want to go with something a bit brighter. So I have some bright lures here. This is a sinking minnow. I think this will be the best one to use for now because the fish are not really hungry, but I need to be able to go down and reach to their hiding spots and make sure that it's really bright and flashy to attract their attention. So I'm going to go with this today. Wish me luck, guys. So now we are at the second spot at the Marina Reservoir. I'm going with a popper this time because the water looks a bit shallow and there's a lot of weed. So you don't want your lures going too deep. So I saw some surface action. Hopefully this popper will entice a decent sized peacock bass. Wish me luck. The fishing terrain in Singapore is unique for so many reasons, and one of it is that you can actually go fishing within minutes. In other places, you have to drive for hours just to get there. And there's also the possibility of enjoying very cool scenery. Whoa. You can be fishing in town and maybe behind you is like one brilliant piece of architecture, like the Singapore Flyer, for example. So that is very unique for Singapore. I think fishing as a hobby has this calming characteristic, and I feel that if you want to calm down, if you want to find your zen, try fishing if you haven't tried it before. So there you have it, guys. This is what a regular day out fishing looks like. From preparing your gear the day before, to getting up early, to coming to the spot on time, setting up your gear and going out to fish. Today at the Marina Reservoir, it was not very good for me. It was a bit slow, but that doesn't mean I'm going to give up, because a slow day fishing beats a good day at work anytime. Till then, I'll see you in the next episode. I'm going to continue fishing. Take care, stay safe. Bye-bye.